One? Really?
What did I miss?
One person said that the CISO did want a product demo. Amazing. So we will talk
Okay.
afterwards. Thank you for that. The rest of us, we are doomed the minute we want to start talking about the goddamn product demo. But Leeron here is going to show us, tell us what they do at Teramind in order to overcome this product demo issue.
The product demo issue that each one of us has, like a gazillion of them, and they all look the same, and they all have widgets, and they all have nice numbers and nice graphs. So basically, the product demo is dead. Here's what replaced it, and what can we kind of learn from the best B2B campaigns and what they can kind of teach us. You can't hear me? Normally, they're telling me I speak too loud. Okay, beseda. Okay, quick context. Who are we and why this is a problem and why it hit us harder than maybe other companies. So I'm VP of Marketing at Teramind. We sell DLP, IRM, and other Gartner acronyms that you all know that's ever changing, AI governance. So basically, we aggregate lots of sensitive data within the customer's network. So one of the problems that we have is demoing. It's actually showing customers demo in real environments. So because our product captures real employee activity, that means keystrokes, file transfers, screen recordings. It's basically a legal nightmare. And if we put up fake data, CISOs, security execs, they know it's fake, they know it's not real. So it's kind of this loop. What do? So when I say product demo is dead, I don't mean it's dead, but I mean let's move it from the awareness phase and way down to the consideration phase. So if until today we would have product demos on our website, and if we wanted to show customer collateral around what it is we do and what our product does, we would have a product demo. I've been in enough cybersecurity companies to know that that's kind of the first things any cyber marketing exec does. He does a product demo, and normally it's at the awareness stage. And the problem is that all of you guys know here in the room, they all look the same, they all sound the same, they all promise a lot of nice things. So what we did is we moved it from the awareness down to the consideration. And now we know we need to bring in something to the awareness stage that explains to the customer what it is we do and what they get out of it. So we face a problem that basically everyone in cyber marketing that no other category shares. So one, the fake data trap that I talked to about a second ago. Two, the legal aspect. So in a lot of companies or a lot of countries, you have GDPR, CCPA. You're not supposed to show anything real, any real customer data. And also the feature overload trap. So basically, a lot of endless features talking about a lot of capabilities. And after like 5 minutes, they forgot where you started and where you're going. So we took a look, we kind of zoomed out and we said, okay, who are the companies that we feel are cracking it, are doing an exceptional job of showing what it is their company's doing and what do they have in common? So here we have a few examples that we took, and I'll tell you about the difference. So Gong, instead of talking about the platform and what it does and showing screenshots of the platform, they started talking about values. So revenue intelligence, they talked about reps closing deals, goodbye to lost deals. That was kind of their tagline, achieve your revenue goals. So they kind of went away from everything that had to do with the product, and they started showing how people were winning, how they were helping people achieve their goals. Another cyber company, a lot like what all of us do here. So what they do is basically they do vulnerability management. How did they explain it? Instead of showing a platform, they showed hackers finding it. So they actually they took their employees and they took hackers and they did a series of clips having them find the bugs before they do. which is also a great example showing what the product does, what's the value, how it looks like, what happens after the fact. A really good example. I don't think I have a video here. Okay, so what did we do? We stopped doing demos and we started filming outcomes. So what we did, we started working with Riverside. Applause for Riverside, Leeron. And we built a 3-step video structure. So we basically took it down to 3 steps. The before, what was the risk and the pain? No product, just kind of a human describing what was the problem. Step 2, the turning point, what changed? And then step 3, one specific quantified result. So something like 82% faster. So again, we would show in and out maybe a few snippets of the dashboard, but nowhere near the 20-minute product demo that we're all used to having. Another problem that a lot of us have is how do we deal with anonymity? So a lot of customers, they don't want to be on film, especially in cybersecurity. No one wants to get in front of a camera and say that they had a breach and how their cybersecurity solution helped them out. So what did we do? We did 2 things. One, we took an actor. So you can take an actor, you can film it on Riverside and then put it in a little star under, say it's an actor enacting something real that happened, and voice only. So those are ways that we kind of found to have customers talk about their story without being out there and being vulnerable, especially with those dealing with like government and Fed. And as I said, the tool we used, Riverside, very easy, very simple. You get them on a call, you film it, you edit it, it's done, it's ready. These were the first ones that we did. I have an example here. I'll just show you what it looks like. And I hope it works. And if not, someone help me. Okay. אני לא מקית. אני לא מקית.
I work for a company called Boosie Limited, and we're an IT managed service provider. Since COVID, we've been a remote-first company, so we very much were looking for a way to have a similar environment to when we're in the office. Having like a virtual CCTV.
כן, אפשר לסגור את זה, זה ארוך.
Great if there's any questions of why something didn't work.
I won't show you the whole thing because it's not the point. The point is we showed a customer talking about the product, what he got out of it, how his life looked like before the product, and how it changed his life after he started using the product. So we went down from 15-minute product demos to 2 seconds of showing customers talking about how they used it and what happened. Okay, so before and after. So before, as I said, we used product walkthrough videos, 8 to 12 minutes. We also measured the drop-off, the viewer drop-off. So I can tell you that with the long videos, 60% of people that started watching the product walkthroughs, they dropped before they hit the 3-minute mark, meaning they were bored. They didn't have time. It wasn't interesting enough. I don't know. And then they kind of were like, okay, I got the idea. Bye. Thank you. The minute we swapped and switched our strategy to short videos, each one of them like under a minute, the viewer completion skyrocketed to 70%. So that means that 78% of the people that clicked on those videos, they finished watching it till the end. That means that they understood the product, they understood the pain point, they understood the solution, and also legal approval for everything. Very, very fast, simple, short, to the point. Okay, great story, Leeron, but how do you measure it? So here is the framework that me and my team used to measure it, to measure if it was success. So basically, a video completion rate benchmark, if it's around 60%, that means that it's strong. Our average was around 78%. Watch time, are they watching the whole story or dropping off in the middle? Replay rate, did they watch it again? Share rate, did they forward it to a colleague? We could also see that in the videos that people were finishing, They were sending it to colleagues in the same orgs, and other people were downloading it. So then we knew that it was kind of higher intention. We've had customers asking, can I talk to the customer that I saw, that I watched yesterday or on this video and that video? We measured MQL to SQL for the video touched leads and win rates. Okay, so basically any marketer can run this playbook. What I suggest you do is audit your current demo. So everyone obviously has like this huge library of videos and content. We have enough of it. So build kind of your outcome library. I would take the top 4 or 5 measurable results your customers constantly achieve. Speak to the sales, speak to the CS, find out what measurable results are the most important to your customers. And that's basically your content brief. That's what the story needs to be around. That's what the story needs to be about. And then if you need it to be anonymous, then again, you can choose, do I want an actor? Do I want to blurb the face? Whatever, every company with his things. Number 4, involve legal at the briefing stage. Share the script outline before filming. And the most important, measure what matters. That's the only way we know if what we're doing is working. Also, what videos work better, what industries work better. So basically, stop showing them how it works and start showing them what happens when it does. That's it. I was short. You were so worried I was going to take long, and I ran through it.